Warning! The following podcast contains strong language which some listeners may find offensive. If you do,
up yours! That's only if you don't listen to the podcast. Otherwise, not up yours.
did you know the Untitled Wrestling Podcast is on all of the social media outlets? Give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, or even a review if you're feeling generous. Facebook and YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast, Twitter, Twitch and Discord at Untitled Rest Pod.
It's Wednesday. You know what that means. We're fucking late. My name is Jay. I am joined by Faye. Rumours of Tasty's demise have been greatly exaggerated. He's just a very sick Tasty. Get well soon, big Tasty. How are you, Faye?
I love you. Too hot, but we're good.
It's fucking warm, innit? As they say in Australia. Fucking warm.
It is fucking warm. I'm not prepared for tonight at all, emotionally.
Well, tonight we'll get to in a little bit, because there's 4 AEW shows to talk about, which is a little bit of overkill.
Upsetting.
I think. Yeah, I need to fucking get Tony Khan to calm the fuck down somehow. Don't know how.
It's Tasty that's got his number, not us.
Yeah, Tasty will get him on the blower, say he'll make him a beer for Fulham or something, and then in fact, Tony, if you're listening, Big Tasty will make Fulham a top rope beer if you calm the fuck down and stop booking so many wrestling shows so I can actually sleep. But yeah, speaking of sleeplessness, should we get into our first port of call, which is the G1? Because
yes,
because we put it off. There've been 4 days of G1 as well. I'm not gonna go too much into stuff. I'm pretty much just gonna read out the results. If there's anything that you feel like we should stop and talk about, do stop me. So we'll go for night 1 first. Opening match, Yoshihashi defeated ELP. That's a big surprise. Chase Owens defeated Gabe Kidd. Tangaloa defeated Kenta. Ren Narita and Shota Umino went to a 20-minute time limit draw. I know you watched that one.
That was phenomenal. So
yeah,
good.
Go watch that. I still haven't seen it myself. Okada defeated Great Okan. No shocks there. Kaito Kiyomiya defeated Yota Tsuji, which was another match you said was really good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Taichi defeated that amateur Will Ospreay. And Sanada defeated Hikuleo. Again, not really too much of a surprise there. Night 2, this was one I watched quite intently because there was a lot of matches I wanted to check out on this. David Finlay defeated Ishii in an absolute banger. This was really fun.
I watched that one. That was good.
Hiroki Goto defeated Yano in a match which involved a mascot. And sure. Hiroki Goto getting pushed under the ring and then coming out with the mascot's head on and unable to find out where he was, nearly getting counted out. It was Yano just does silly bollocks and everything, and it's always fantastic. Mikey Nichols crimed the living shit out of Aaron Hernere. If you haven't seen the Emerald Frozen he did, it's horrific.
Hello, yes, Danhausen here. Danhausen has been summoned. You must love this podcast, Hausen. The Untitled Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah. You said this to me the other day, didn't you? Like, you nearly broke his neck.
It's disgusting, like the angle he lands on it. It's horrifying. Shane Hayes defeated the man who sees all of the ghost, Alex Coughlin. Again, this was a really fun match. TMDK looking strong so far. Eddie Kingston defeated Shingo in chef's kiss. This was amazing. It was just Perfection. Shingo no selling back fists and chopping Eddie really fucking hard.
And Eddie just getting really mad about it.
Yeah, Shingo hit Eddie with the Northern Lights bomb, and Eddie kicked out a 1 and then crimed the shit out of Shingo. He also afterwards laid out the challenge to Shingo to face him at either All In or All Out. Yes, please. Preferably All In.
Yes, please.
Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Tanahashi again. Banger. Zack Sabre Jr. I think it might be his year the more time goes on.
Tanahashi's gear was fantastic in that match.
Tanahashi was dressed like he was the 3rd member of Pretty Deadly.
He was.
He's carried on wearing that gear so far in both his matches.
Very good.
Evil defeated Tamatonga and Jeff Cobb murdered Naito, which was really fun. again, Jeff Cobb's another one I can't seem to look past to do well this year.
It was almost his year last year, wasn't it?
His first year, he like should have won, and then he got beat by Okada in the last round. Anyway, let's go on to night 3. Kato Kiyomiya defeated Chase Owens. Kenta defeated Great O'Khan. Gabe Kidd defeated Hikuleo, also got dumped on his fucking head at one point, which was horrific. Thankfully, Gabe was all right. Taichi defeated Tangaloa. Taichi is 2-0. What the fuck is going on? Also, Sanada said if he wins the G1, he's going to pick Taichi, so that's frightening. Imagine if that was your Wrestle Kingdom main event.
Don't wish that evil into the world.
No, it's not evil. It's Taichi, mate.
Don't do that either.
Ren Narita and Yota Tsuji went to a 20-minute time limit draw. I've just sent you a clip from that where Tsuji got wrapped around the barricade like an accordion. Yeah, it was upsetting, wasn't it? Ren Narita so far 2 draws, which again
is interesting.
It's an interesting little wrinkle into what's going on with Ren Narita because he's not losing matches, but he's also not winning them. Will Ospreay defeated Yoshihashi. Sanada defeated Shota Umino, and Okada defeated ELP.
So weird because I was so convinced that ELP was going to do okay.
He still might. They like to have someone who like loses like about 8 matches first and then fucking just wins on the arse end, don't they?
Sad Tanahashi noises.
It's usually Tanahashi. And then today's results for night 4. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Toru Yano. This match
I can't wait to watch this.
Fucking amazing. It was like the fuckery, and it was an art form. I'm gonna spoil it for you, Faye. Sorry, but basically, instead of Zack Sabre Jr. coming out, Koji Fujita come out dressed as Zack Sabre Jr. with like the jacket and belt on. Did Zack's whole entrance. Yano's looking really confused. Yano gets out the ring, puts his jacket on a young lion, and tries to get the two of them to fight. And then as he's like walking off to like the top of the ramp, Zack Sabre Jr. like gets him in a sleeper. He then does a lap of the ring. He gets Vegeta to tape all of like the coverings, like the turnbuckle covers, tape them together so Yano can't take them off and fuck with them. Zack Sabre Jr. then does a lap around the ring and goes for a PK, misses the PK. Yano atomic drops Zack Sabre Jr. and then gaffer tapes his legs together. Zack Sabre Jr. barely makes the 20 count in like the most like Basil Fawlty ass fucking way of because he's trying to hop to the ring and he's refusing to let Vegeta help him. Like Vegeta keeps trying to help him and Zack's like, no, I've got this. Getting more and more pissed off. He barely breaks the 20 count. And he got tangled up in like the cables, like all the camera cables at the ringside as well, doing it. Barely breaks it. Yano then spends about 3 minutes trying to get all the turnbuckle covers off and obviously the tape, so he's getting more and more angry. At which point Vegeta gives Zack Sabre Jr. some scissors. Zack cuts his legs apart. But then pretends that he's still got them taped together. So then when Yano goes to get him, Zack gets him into an armbar and then ends up rolling him up. It was fucking hilarious. It was only about 5 minutes.
Amazing.
But it was bonkers. And then
like a slapstick comedy.
Yeah, and then Zack Sabre Jr. cut a promo on how he hates robots and that it was a disgrace to the G1. And that him and Vegeta are going to go to Ibiza to celebrate. Do you want to come to Ibiza with me, Jay? Come on. No. We'll go. Never. We'll go and party with Zach. It'll be fun. I didn't want to go to Ibiza when I was 18. I don't when I'm fucking 34, mate. We will. It's fine. Shit. It'll be great. No. Anyway, Zach. Next, David Finlay defeated Mikey Nichols. This was a fun match. Jeff Cobb defeated Alex Coughlin in a hoss fight. Alex Coughlin was throwing Jeff Cobb around like he was a little boy. He deadlifted Jeff Cobb a few times. He lifted him up above his head and held him there for about 10, 15 seconds. Jeff Cobb looked shook, but Jeff does win with the Tour of the Islands. Evil defeated Eddie Kingston by cheating like a scumbag. Not like that. Tanahashi defeated Shane Hayes. Aaron Henare defeated Shingo.
That's a bit weird.
Bit of a shocker. Shingo's 0-2 at the moment. Naito defeated Goto. This was really what you'd expect a Naito and Goto match to be. And Tamatonga defeated Tomohiro Ishii. That's where we're at the moment. So I'll just quickly run down through the block. So Sanada and Kiyomiya are currently top of block A. Okada and Taichi are top of block B. Finlay and Evil are top of block C. And Zack Sabre Jr. and Jeff Cobb are top of block D. But it's still wide open at the moment because there's only been matches. But yeah, anything stood out for you so far from the G1 that you've really enjoyed?
I think, I think again, like what I said, like the shooter match shocked me that like they work so well together. But another one that was all right from night one was where's it gone? Was it night one or was it night? No, sorry, it was night two. It was Shane Haste's first match
against
in the
Al
G1.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Where Coughlin had him beat and then tried to hit him with the belt and Shane just fucked him up. Yeah. Shane Haste
that was a really good match.
The former slapjack for those who keep on track. What a glow up from leaving WWE.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
TMDK.
But yeah, that was a really, really good.
Yeah.
A really good match. TMDK like having a killing of it this year as well, aren't they?
I really want to get a TMDK shirt. I've been a big fan.
You'll get one. It's fine.
I know. I probably will. I've been a big fan of TMDK for a while. Don't you threaten me with the Island Boys. Don't know if I could handle that. Next,
let's do a trios and get Jeff Cobb in there as well.
Don't you threaten me with a good time. Next up, let's talk about GCW because they had a show at the weekend Now and Forever, which was an absolute banger. Did you see any of this?
No, I'm gonna catch it. Is that Speedball and Yoshihiko?
Yes.
That? Yeah, I need to catch it.
I am going to talk about it. Sorry, Faye. But
no, that's fine. I don't mind the spoilers. I'll still watch it.
Joe and Ryan watched this very drunk on Friday night. First time I've stayed up for GCW in a little while. But yeah, it was fun. Charles Mason won a scramble match with Cole Radrick, Marcus Mathers, Alec Price.
He terrifies me.
Yeah, Paro basically crimed Cole Radrick for Mason to win. Matt Cardona and Steph Delander defeated Bussy.
Don't like that.
Deathmatch
I like Steph Delander, but like Matt Cardona can get fun.
Well, Cardona came out dressed as the Rider Taker.
I saw this.
He did the Undertaker's entrance. Steph Delander was dressed as a slutty pallbearer, which, yeah, I didn't know I needed that in my life.
I don't think I want that.
Don't worry about it. And yeah, after the match, they laid down the challenge to Mackie Death Kill, which is happening at Homecoming. So that'll be fun. Gringo Loco defeated the Wrestling Commander in a banging triple threat match. It was just fucking bonkers. Mance Warner defeated George South in Ryan's match of the year. Ryan absolutely loves George South. Big George South fan.
Oh, I'll be sure to talk about it at every given opportunity. Please
do. If you meet Ryan in person, if you see him, make sure to tell him that you're a George South fan too, because he is the GCW. George South. East West Express regained the tag titles against the Amazing Red and Brian XL.
That's interesting.
Nah, it's not.
No, but
Nick Wayne's still going to work GCW regardless of where he is, because I mean, literally on this show, another AEW talent wrestled Commander. Next up, we had Maki Ito defeating Billy Starks. This was an absolute banger. If you get a chance to watch it, do go out your way to. In what I think is currently my front runner for match of the year, Mike Bailey defeated Yoshihiko. He basically recreated Ospreay Omega 2 with Yoshihiko. Down to the fact that, he did so many Tiger Drivers. Down to the fact that Mao came out dressed as Don Callis. And like they did like Yoshihiko went to One Winged Angel Bailey, and then Bailey like nearly peeled Yoshihiko's face up with the screwdriver.
Oh my God.
He did 3 Tiger drivers, including one off the top rope. Yoshihiko gigged, as did Speedball. It was wonderful, wonderful, silly bollocks, and it's further proof that Mike Bailey might be the best wrestler on the planet right now. Yeah, again, go your way to watch it. If you don't know who Yoshihiko is a sex doll from DDT Pro, a literal sex doll. And I'm not objectifying a person. The next up, the OGs, the team of Homicide, Matrimon, and Grim Reaper, defeated Los Machizos and Jimmy Lloyd by way of, well, Homicide. Homicide actually murdered Jimmy Lloyd with a cop killer.
I saw a gif of that fucking shitty table spot with Grim Reaper.
Which one? The one where it kept fucking breaking.
Yeah, and he just looked like so fucking done with it.
Yeah, it was silly. It was all right, but it was that match was sent out to die after Mike Bailey and Yoshihiko. Blake Christian.
You never thought you'd say that, would you? Like that.
I totally do.
A match with Homicide just sent out to die after Mike Bailey wrestled the sex doll.
Homicide tried to crime Jimmy Lloyd after the match as well. Like, he threw bits of door at him. After Jimmy Lloyd,
after that New Japan match.
He was angry after the fact that Jimmy Lloyd like spiked himself on the fucking cop killer and nearly killed himself. Yeah, Blake Christian defeated Mao. This was a really fun match.
I love Mao.
Mao is great. I love Mao. We got double Mao. We got Mao Callis, and then we got actual Mao. And Utami Hayashishita, I think I've said that right, defeated Lufisto in an absolute banger. And that was GCW. Yeah, we've sped through that because now we've got a lot of AEW to talk about. We'll try and get through this as quick as we possibly can, but obviously there is going to be a lot of talking to be done about certain stuff. Probably more about other stuff. But yeah, Dynamite gets underway with Commander and Chris Jericho, which was a match I didn't know I needed. This was fantastic. As
well. Yeah, it was.
Chris Jericho, like with luchadors, just doesn't miss, does he? He just gets it. Yeah, Jericho won with the Lion Tamer after Commander really like looked good in this match though. Like he got a lot of offense fencing against Jericho. There was a couple of times I thought he was going to beat Jericho because he was doing that well against him. After the match, Don Callis comes out and like him and Jericho reminisce about how they used to be tag partners, and they promised Bad News Brown, their mentor, that they'd stay together. And obviously they didn't. It's really, I'm really compelled by this Callis thing. I think it might play into Blood and Guts. But we shall see. Hook tried to kill Jack Perry in his car. That was fun.
As is the line.
Yeah, Don Callis then tells Renee Paquette that he'll make the announcement of himself who the 5th member of the BCC is going to be. It's basically a trap, in it.
Yeah. And Kenny gave very explicit instructions on BCE.
He did. On BT, Kenny said, no matter what, even if I'm bleeding, do not come and make the save until the video package is played.
Even if he gets rock hard as
Juice Robinson wasn't involved in it. Sadly, always doing more Juice Robinson, but we did get an hour of him this week. More on that later. Yeah. We got another really fun Adam Cole and MJF skit. They're in a bar drinking, and MJF basically hits on 4 women as Adam Cole's like refuses to cheat on Britt Baker because he cares about her, which was lovely. Sweet. And then Adam Cole basically says, now I get to choose what we do, and they go back to his place and play AEW Fight Forever. And there's a really sad bit where MJF's like, these are really fun to play together. And Cole's like, oh yeah, haven't you ever done that before? He's like, no, I don't really have any friends.
It's so sad.
They win the tag titles as well off FTR, which was a nice touch.
Bit of foreshadowing.
Nah.
Imagine.
MJF's going to do
First person to do
it. Yeah, and this is a really fun advert for the game as well.
And they've been using it as well, haven't they?
They have, yeah. I'm fully invested in this Adam Cole MJF thing, even though it's definitely going to lead to these two facing each other at All In at this point. I think it's inevitable, much like VGS. Next up, we got Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. This was really fun.
Yeah.
Again, Darby and Orange are they're like the best team that are on a team in AEW, I think, at this point.
We like to call it the team. It's like when you put Pete and Nat together. That's them. They're just Darby and Orange.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. So this ends by Swerve like coming in a drive-by and Darby Allin.
Yeah.
And doing an actual crime on him, and then Sammy hits the GTH. Interestingly, Daniel Garcia has made up that they won despite the cheating.
Yeah.
Sammy isn't. Sammy's apologizing to Darby, which again shows maybe that Sammy's growing up a bit and changed.
And Garcia's still a piece of shit.
Oh, Garcia's a little bastard. I hate him. We got a nice little Nick Wayne video package where again they've done a really, really lot of work to kind of make him feel like a big deal, and I think they have. I think they've done a good job with this. And then get Roderick Strong approaching Adam Cole, and he's worried that like Adam Cole's grown fond of MJF,
like genuinely becoming his friend.
I can see Roddy turning on Cole because
he's losing his friend.
This, and then we get like a really nice Adam Cole Roddy feud again, like they did in the NXT. Well, like they should have done in NXT and they didn't quite get there. Then we got MJF and Adam Cole versus Brian Cage and Big Bill. Doug Williams said this best. This was a Butlins match in the best way. It was really fun, but it was literally two big guys, two comedy baby faces. They nearly hit the double clothesline. And then MJF hits the heat seeker on Brian Cage and Cole hits the boom. Interesting that they'd have Brian Cage take the pin here, given that in Ring of Honor they're doing a bit of a storyline where Brian Cage has like not been pinned for like God knows how long.
Maybe they're two different variants.
Like Pud and Wrestle Island Pud.
Yeah.
Okay. I can buy that. That, especially comparing Pud to Brian Cage, things I thought I wouldn't do today.
What are you talking about? The same person. You ever seen them in the room at the same time?
No, I haven't. They've got the same muscle mass, they've got the same hairstyle, everything. Adam Cole and MJF then cut like a promo together, which was it was weird, but it was good.
Yeah.
Next we had Hager confront Jericho because Jericho isn't being straight with them about Don Callis. And basically like Don Callis is slowly but surely tearing apart Jericho Appreciation Society. Which
it's really bizarre.
Is interesting. Especially given that Hager hasn't been without Jericho at all in AEW. He's always been Jericho's like right hand man. So that makes it a big deal that Hager sadly put his purple hat down in front of Jericho and walked away. Because he likes that hat. Next, we got Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. This was a banger. Sky Blue continues to just be one of the most impressive young stars on the AEW roster. She's tremendous. I think she's going to be like, she's probably going to be in Britt's position sooner or later, isn't she? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
As like the face of the women's division. Because she just has it in spades, whatever it is. Ruby won by hitting No Future off the top rope, which looked grotty as fuck. Looked very upset. And then we got a little QTV segment where Harley Cameron did a rap about the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Do you know who's been writing these segments?
Is it Max Caster?
No. Better than Max Caster.
Is it Swerve?
It's no one they're not a rapper.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they try. No. RJ City.
Oh my God.
RJ City's been writing the QTV segments. QT Marshall said.
Is that why he's been like in the background of some of them? What looks like, yeah.
Also, the other guy who's been in them is Tony Schiavone's son. I think I said this on last week's podcast.
Oh.
Which is why he looks exactly like Tony Schiavone. Anyway, let's get to the main event of Dynamite because we've covered this in record time, Faye. Which I know you've been waiting to talk about specifically this match more than anything else on the card. Fuck whatever happens after it. This is the most important thing. Nick Wayne made his debut against Swerve, and oh boy, the Swerve like crying with people in front of their mother. This was so good.
Like, can I just say, right? Like after watching, because I went out my way like a while ago to watch the other Nick Wayne and Swerve matches, because I went through like this phase of just really enjoying like Defy.
Swerve's horrible bastard.
Oh my God! So like I watched that one like pretty much when it came out, but then I was watching it again and I was like, he literally didn't change. Like even though it was in AEW, he was like, no, I'm gonna murder him even harder now. Watch.
Well, they used footage from those matches in like the video packages to kind of like promote the match. Swerve getting in his mum's face after the match was
it was heartbreaking.
Fucking brilliant. Swerve's just like he really should be, and I think he's probably gonna end up becoming the top heel in AEW.
Yeah, because he's actually like despicable. You know what I mean?
I've said this since like we were covering NXT when Swerve was in it, and I was like, I love Swerve, but he's got massive scumbag energy.
Oh yeah, well you said this as soon as he joined AEW, you were like, I can't wait for him to turn heel and become a scumbag. And then I was like, oh yeah, I can see that. And then like when he started as soon as like the Defy stuff happened and stuff like that, I was like, oh my God, yeah. But then, as soon as Swerve, like even really before like the Nick Wayne stuff happened, like even before that, when he started saying like I'm coming for like all the next generation wrestlers, I was like, oh no, Nick Wayne. like I instantly was like already worried for him, like straight away.
Well, yeah, like they tried to like pull the trigger on turning Swerve heel in NXT, and everyone thought he was too cool. So they started cheering him, even though he was like criming Leon Ruff. So basically, like it just kind of like died in the water. Whereas in this, because of who he's going after, like people love, like Keith Lee and Darby Allin, and Orange, and now Nick Wayne, he's just like such a detestable piece of garbage. Yeah. This match was tremendous though.
So good.
Nick Wayne, as I say, really looked like a star. They did a really good job of making him feel like a huge deal. Which they should, like because Nick Wayne is tremendous. Yeah. There was a really cool spot where Nick Wayne, like Darby came out and distracted Swerve, and then Nick Wayne like poison ranted Swerve off the top rope and hit Wayne's World, which is like his sort of like basically an Oz cutter, isn't it? Yeah. And Swerve just got his foot on the rope, and the camera angle, it didn't look like he was getting his foot on the rope. Really well shot. Nick Wayne goes for another top rope Rana, and Swerve reversed it into a horrifying powerbomb, which was disgusting. He hit a house call, and Nick Wayne kicked out of the house call, which was wild. Swerve then did an arm breaker on Nick Wayne and hit the JML driver to pick up the win while staring down Darby and also looking over at Nick Wayne's mum, who was ringside. Yeah, this was great. I really enjoyed this.
And now he can feed him to Christian as well. It's fine.
Oh God, when Christian finds out on Nick Wayne's dad. Yeah, I know this is it's weird. Like, so I've spoken to a few people about this, and it's been kind of derivative that, like, the way this went. Obviously, like putting Nick Wayne in that spotlight. There's people who aren't familiar with him who's kind of said, "Well, I don't get why they do that." And then obviously, I mean, I take this with a grain of salt. It's fucking Ryan who said this. Said that Nick Wayne should have won. I was like, no, it makes sense that they could have done either, in my opinion.
I'd have been fine with either. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if Nick Wayne won, but I'm happy that he didn't because it furthers the story more.
Yeah, I think if Nick Wayne had just walked into AEW and beat Swerve on his first day, there would have been a risk of like fan backlash, because
it's very much like he's got something to chase now, like and something to claw back.
Yeah, they can literally, they've had him have his big show, and now he can just kind of focus on just having good matches, picking up wins, getting people who aren't as familiar with Nick Wayne, who don't know who he is, learn who the fuck Nick Wayne is, because Nick Wayne is probably going to be one of the best wrestlers in the world in like 6-7 years time.
Yeah,
probably less because he's that good. But yeah,
eventually we're going to get Nick Wayne and Darby, and that's going to fuck. Yeah,
I can't wait for Nick Wayne versus Orange Cassidy myself, and that'll be really fun. And that was AEW Dynamite. And
absolutely nothing else happened.
Nothing else happened except for Don Callis revealing the Blood and Guts final 2 spots. So yeah, Don Callis comes out, he tears the back out of Kenny. Eventually, Kenny comes out to confront him and mocks Takeshita, and a returning bastard come back. The day after the day of AEW, like having a list of things that were no longer allowed, and
they did half of them.
packed 2 of them in one spot. Where you're not allowed to hit people in the back of the head, and you're not allowed to hit people in the head with a chair. And Pack hit Kenny in the back of the head with a chair because he's a bastard.
Pack, they tried to give him the list, and Pack was just like, "What the fuck's this? I can't read," and then just crying the person giving it to him.
Yeah, Pack cut like a really good promo, basically saying like Kenny broke his nose and took months off his career and took his trios titles away from him.
It was so good, wasn't it?
I've missed Pac so much.
And it's like he just straight as well, what I loved about it. And Pac has done this a couple of times. Like, he's not been there, and then straight away he's already inserts himself like into that narrative. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, you do belong here. It makes sense.
The thing with Pac, which is so great, is that he can literally be gone for like months, come back, and he's just like literally where he's left off.
Yeah.
And because of his character, the way his character is, and like what they were doing in lockdown, where he was like locked in his flat and going a bit mad,
insane.
It plays into it. Like, he's injured, he's been stuck at home, like getting angry and angrier that he can't beat people up.
Yeah.
And the person who took it away from him was Kenny Omega, who broke his nose in the first place. So now he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking ruin your life."
Yeah.
They wrap a chair around Kenny's neck. Pac goes to do a black arrow onto Kenny. Kenny's like, says like, "Check the screen." We get a video package of a unknown wrestler, Kota Ibushi. No one knows who he is. The internet told me
indie star. Yeah, I heard he had a little match against Bailey in GCW, and that was it. Like,
come on, if you don't know who Kota Ibushi is, you've been living under a fucking rock.
Even the Fed drones,
even the Fed drones can't fucking go on about that because he's been in WWE. But
he definitely made it and was there. and didn't get lost.
Yeah. Kota Ibushi is the 5th man for the Elite after traveling to America with just a backpack and a ham sandwich. Yeah. This match is going to be a bit silly good, isn't it?
My favorite bit was like at the end, and John Moxley was like, just like, he obviously didn't have a mic, but the mic picked it up anyway. And he's like, do you think I give a shit about Kota Ibushi? I don't give a fuck. And it was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. That just reminded me of something from today's G1 where Dick Togo hit Eddie Kingston with a kendo stick while Evil was distracting the referee. And Eddie Kingston no-sold it and got up and just went, like, it went dead quiet. And Eddie just went, you motherfucker! Most New York thing I've ever seen Eddie do. But yeah, I think I was having a little think about this before. What if this leads to Pac versus Ibushi all in?
That would be very good, wouldn't it?
There's not, like, let's say, well, Omega's going to be busy with Ospreay, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't want him to be, but he will be. I know.
And I feel like we might get like BCC versus the Hung Bucks because we haven't had just that, like really, have we? We had the one where it was all the fuckery, but we haven't had it like, or maybe I don't know, like Falls Count Anywhere or something, or Stadium Stampede.
Lights out in London. Lights out in London.
But yeah, Ibushi wants to be on that card. Pac and Ibushi's never happened.
And it should.
Pac deserves to be pretty fucking high up on this card. That's a big match. Give me
what I want.
Over
as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see Pac murder Kota Ibushi. Be so good.
I wouldn't. It would make me sad.
It'd be great, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be amazing, but I'd be sad.
Imagine if I get to see Shingo murder Ospreay and then Pac murder Ibushi in the same weekend. That'd be glorious.
Love wins. Or love loses wins. In this case.
Anyway, speaking of love, something I don't love is when Rampage is full of filler like this week, barring the main event. So we're going to just speed through most of Rampage because there was a lot to talk about. Naturally Limitless defeated 2.0. Yeah, fine, whatever. It happened.
It was a thing.
Got a QTV segment where Johnny TV challenged the Acclaimed of Billy Gunn to face QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Johnny TV. Taya Valkyrie defeated Local Jobber and then challenged Tony Storm. Good little exchange with Taya and Tony, to be fair. Hook cut a promo challenging Jungle Boy while he was on a date in a diner, which was fucking great.
Yeah, it was so good.
Lance Archer and Trent Barretta had a little banger. Jake Roberts is super over, as we all know. Jake hit Trent with a short arm clothesline and I popped like a motherfucker. This is also Lance could call out Orange. Got a little thing promoting the Royal Rampage next week. Basically, Team JJJ, ain't they great? Calling up the Hardy Party and saying that they're going to eliminate each other. Takeshita defeated a local indie town called Mentalo, who apparently was friends with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, like, I love this as well. Like, it's even feeding into that as well. Like, they're just hating Kenny however they can.
Yeah, Takeshita crimed them. And then we got a little Dark Order backstage thing where Dark Order were wearing purple suits.
Yeah.
Looking sharp.
They were. And it was very much like it felt like an early Dark Order type thing, didn't it?
Yeah, I was a bit worried about them turning the Dark Order heels, and then I realized they're not heels because Hangman's a piece of shit and he abandoned them. So yeah, top babyface is Dark Order. And then we got the main event, which was Willow Nightingale versus Athena, which was tremendous.
I actually preferred this to the Collision match.
What, Athena? Willow and Ruby.
Yeah.
Did you? I thought both were very good.
They were good, but I think I preferred this one. But then again, I think I just really wanted this one. I'm not as big of a fan of Ruby as I am Athena.
I feel like
the other one had more narrative, which I get, like, because it was.
Yeah, I mean this one like set up the story of Willow going after Athena for the ROH title.
Mm-hmm.
Willow picks up the win, giving Athena her first loss in 50 matches.
Yeah.
And Athena was fucking angry.
The backstage thing where she came after her, and then Willow just like hit her, and she just dropped like a sack of shit.
Athena's having like the year of her career. I think she's fucking awesome. This is a really fun match. Willow was getting dominated by Athena for most of this match, and then just like fired up and just crimed the shit out of Athena. It was great.
It was so good.
This is setting up. This sets up because Willow won. Tony Khan basically said that she gets a shot at Athena at Death Before Dishonor, so that'd be nice.
So good.
Yeah, and that was Rampage. Obviously, we kind of skimmed over that just because not a lot happened except for the main event. And there's
a lot happened on Collision.
Right, let's get into Collision because half the show was one match.
And it was rightly so.
It was a fucking good match.
Yeah.
FTR defended the AEW Tag Team Championships in what's kind of their specialty match, a 2 out of 3 falls match against Bullet Club Gold. This was unreal. This was so good. Dave Meltzer, rightfully so, referred to this as the best tag team match on American television.
Yeah.
No arguments from me. It was very.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
FTR are experts when it comes to these 2 out of 3 falls matches. Just got to see the one they had with DIY and NXT all those years ago to know that. Jay White is again probably one of the best wrestlers in the world. Juice Robinson
Juice is an unsung hero.
Had his fucking working boots on.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson has wrestled, I think it's something like 3 hours off the last was it 2? Off the last 4 episodes of Rampage of Collision. Yeah. Mr. Collision himself, rock hard Juice Robinson, quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers.
This was awesome. Never say that, ever.
No. I've always thought Juice was good. I never thought I'd consider him one of my favorites, but here we are. Bang Bang Gang got the first fall. There was a really, really close call where both Jay and Dax were out in the crowd getting counted out.
Oh my God. Yeah. And they got in at 9.
Yeah, both of them did. FTR then picked up the equalizer by hitting, I can't remember if it was Juice or Jay with the shatter machine.
It was Juice. It was Juice. Yeah.
Oh, Juice took both falls, poor bugger. And then
he did.
Because they were in Calgary.
Jay was knocked out on the outside, remember? Jay was out.
Yeah, Jay White and Dax did the bulk of this match. And then the finish was Juice getting put in a sharpshooter and tapping out because they're in Calgary. There was a really good callback to the DIY matches that FTR had with the matches FTR DIY, I should say, where they both got Jay and Juice and sharpshooters, and Jay and Juice were stopping the others from tapping out. To break the fall. It was a lovely little callback to those matches. This was awesome.
He gave Jay the same power, the power bomb the same way he did with Jay Briscoe as well.
Yeah.
At the
do you reckon we're going to get a dog collar match out of this?
Oh my God, yes. For me, just give me it, please.
Well, it's largely mirrored the Briscoes feud.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's pretty much one of those things, isn't it? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. It worked with FTR for the feud last year. Why not do the same with this?
I'd be okay with that.
The thing is, the 2-2. So we need to figure out a way to see. And to be honest, I could see Bullet Club Gold going over in the third one.
I hope so.
Because fucking deserve. Yeah, do it all in.
Let's have that at All In, please.
I hope so because they totally deserve this.
They do.
They've been on another level recently, and anything that we say about this match isn't going to justify how good it was.
No,
So
it
just
really
go watch it.
isn't. Please
Just go watch
watch
Collision
it.
this week because there was 3 really good matches on the show, and a little squash match which was nice as well. Speaking of the 3 good matches, I feel like the position of this on the card maybe hurt it a little bit because the crowd were fucked after that FTR and Bang Bang Gang match. Willow Nightingale defeated Ruby Soho to win the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Again, really fun match. I enjoyed it. They told a good story, obviously, with like Ruby trying to cheat and Willow managing to like outsmart her. Willow won relatively clean.
She did,
Tony and Saraya got ejected quite quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, and Ruby tried to use the spray paint as well.
Yeah, and Willow countered it with a pounce.
So good. That babe with the power bomb was unbelievable at the end as well. It was so smooth.
It was. I watched this with Joe on Zoom, and we were both like very drunk, celebrating. It was. Nah, I was saving my energy for when Ricky won.
I enjoyed the commentary team of McGuinness and Riccaboni as well. Like I think I like that more than Kevin Kelly.
I love Kevin Kelly though because he's great. Like
I don't hate him.
He's calling the G1 on his own at the moment, which is madness. Chris only works at Tokyo shows because he's got like another job. But on the August 9th, whatever, I don't know what day that is or what the show is. He's going to be joined on commentary by Eddie Kingston, which I am very excited for. Because it's probably Eddie just going to be saying he hates people and wants to fight them.
Talk about Claudio for 5 minutes.
It's definitely going to be like Eddie, like going, that Okada, I hate his guts. Couldn't be Bryan Danielson. Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, should be fun. Anyway, back to the show. We got a little vignette of Willow wins the Owen Hart tournament, rightfully so. I thought Ruby made a lot of sense to win, but I think Willow needed it more to kind of like
legitimize her.
Legitimize her in the eyes of the AW fans for sure, and also get her up there because I think she's going to dethrone Athena, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think they can
have Willow lose again.
They can. Willow's,
no, but I don't think they should.
Because Willow's like a white meat babyface and she's able to just fucking like absorb losses and just come back from it. But
she's a cloud of sunshine.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. Then QT apologized to Hobbs, and Hobbs basically threatened QT again. When he eventually murders QT, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so good. Oh, by the way, shout out to QT for winning a match at fucking
the fucking ambulance match against Penta.
And won.
Won because he got out of a package pile driver through a table, still ate shit. And then
And won because he's a bigger baby face than Kenny Omega.
Aaron Solo came out the ambulance and fucking twatted Penta with a bundle of light tubes.
As you do.
Yeah, QT Marshall taking light tubes, big respect to that. Never thought I'd see the day that happened. But yeah, here we are. That's probably where he got his teeth from as well, Mexico. Next, we had the House of Black Crime, Artemis Spencer and Randy Myers.
That was a very good match. Like, even though it was like a squash match, I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, I just get excited whenever Malachi's in the ring.
The bit when, like, at the end though, where like Andrade came out and he looked at Andrade, and then without even looking back, like perfectly like black masked.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Intrigued where this is going. I feel like they could just do LFI versus
the
House of Black.
Keep saying like on Twitter they're gonna like release a statement on the future of LFI very soon, which is intriguing anyway.
Sarah said to me today that she'd hit that Rush's contract had expired, which I hope isn't true because that will upset me very much.
AEW.
Yeah, he's only been with them a year. I doubt it. I doubt it. Not even a year. He debuted it all out, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it would. I doubt it will have expired. I think it's just the internet creating stories for the sake of creating stories. Anyway, let's talk about the main event because Ricky Starks defeated CM Punk to win the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament clean as a whistle.
Clean as whistle.
There was no shenanigans, no tomfoolery, absolute certainty. Ricky grabbed the rope when he rolled up Punk.
But like it was at like 2.99 he grabbed the rope, so it wasn't like.
Well, what's interesting, I think if they turn Ricky Starks heel, it's a fucking terrible idea.
I think it's a terrible idea
because he's so over as a babyface. However,
and the crowd were like fucking so anti-Punk.
However, Ricky is a tremendous heel, so he'd be able to get the crowd to hate.
Yeah, because he did once before.
Yeah, and funnily enough, when Ricky come in as a face, I said the exact opposite, saying, "Why are they having Ricky Starks as a face? He's a natural heel." This is a really good match as well. I've really enjoyed this. I think it might have been one of the best matches Starks had all year. Certainly the best match Punk's had since being back.
Yeah, totally. It absolutely, like, I loved how it was like, yeah, but Punk's a vet and he knows what he's doing and he's got like all this experience, and it really showed in this match that like Ricky had to like dig deep.
Well, there was the whole kind of thing as well where like Punk was being a prick to Ricky, and then when Ricky like reciprocated it, Punk was like, "Whoa, what's that all about?"
Yeah.
And it's intriguing that like they then had it where Ricky, so they could go either way. One thing which kind of makes it feel like Ricky's turning heel was after the match, he ran up the ramp
and grabbed the trophy of Liger, and Tommy was fuming.
Takami Abari.
Yeah,
he wasn't happy, was he? Maybe you should have put Ricky on Forbidden Door then. How about that? How about that, Abari?
Liger in full gear.
Starks ran out, snatched the fucking trophy off Liger. Liger nearly fell over. And was like, "What the fuck, man?" Liger's a good sport, though. You probably fucking love that.
Yeah. And then Ricky basically ran away, and Punk was fuming.
Yeah. It was what it was.
That spear that Ricky Starks gave Punk was so good.
I thought that was it. One thing as well, which was quite a good little kind of like story beat, was that the way Ricky won was almost identical to the way Punk beat Joe last week.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's like he'd scouted him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really good story. Cool little bit as well with David Benoit at ringside. I've seen the internet having a totally normal one about that. Let's not forget that David Benoit is as much a victim as his family were.
Absolutely. I know.
And that the fact that guy can't even go to a wrestling show without people acting weird about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It was good to see him. I really like David Benoit. He seems like a really nice fella.
Yeah, he does. Like when he was getting interviews on Dark Sides of the Ring and that as well. Like,
I was about to say, if you haven't seen his Dark Side of the Ring, it's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And
he comes really across Jericho, isn't he?
Yeah. Jericho kind of took it upon himself to like look after him. Make sure he didn't make any stupid decisions, because there was one point when he was training to be a wrestler. And he got a booking and Jericho was like, "No, he's not ready. Just cancel the booking." And I just went, "No." he's not ready. And yeah, either way, it was nice to see Punk embrace him.
It was, and
after the match,
he did as well. FTR did,
and Dax did, yeah. Yeah. It looked like he was getting pictures at ringside, like next to the ring, wasn't he? After the show, it looked like he. I know he's quite good friends with Tony Khan. I think he's probably a guest, wasn't he? But it's cool to see. Again, just be cool. Guy's been through fucking hell of a lot.
Yeah, let him have nice things.
Mm-hmm.
Let him enjoy wrestling. It's hard to come back to that sort of world, especially after what he's been through. So just let him have that.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Anyway, let's get to the fourth show because we've got a lot to talk about. A Battle of the Belts 7 because AEW hate me having sleep. Orange Cassidy defeated Lance Archer. This was a really fun match. Orange won by countout, which again, it's just playing into the whole how desperate
he can't go, and he used that orange punch and then was in agony afterwards.
Yeah. There was a bit where Jake was about to DDT Orange, and Lance got really pissed off at him because everyone was chatting DDT. I feel like
Lance happened a couple of times, hasn't it?
I feel like Lance might be about to turn on Jake, and it's going to be really upset.
Oh, Jake. Yeah.
I love Jake. That promo Jake cut on Rampage as well was fantastic.
I love it was like, don't screw the pooch, boy. Don't screw the pooch. So
when he was like, he's like, we have something of yours. If you want it, you'll have to come see us about it on Saturday. Like, oh, so good.
It feels like massive when he speaks, doesn't it? Like he's got like this really way.
Yeah.
Like remember his promo against Hangman? It wasn't like Lance. It was literally like Jake. It was Jake's promo against
the
Hangman.
One when he debuted against Cody was incredible.
Yeah.
That was just unreal. Like Jake's one of the best talkers of all time for a reason. Yeah, it's great to see him. He looked really good. Because obviously he's had some health problems recently, hasn't he? Yeah, Orange retained by countout. Again, Orange is feel like he's circling the drain here.
It's gonna be like weekends at Bernie's, like where best friends are like
Chuck and Trent are just like carrying him about. We then got Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed, interviewed by Tony Schiavone. They've got a rematch against the House of Black on Collision next week for the trios titles.
I really hope that
I think they're going to.
I don't want them to though, because I feel like House of Black
Andrade's gonna cost them.
That would make sense, but like I feel like they've got so much more they can do with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like the fact that I'm not getting House of Black versus BCC is a crime.
Yeah. I think we need, to be honest, I want House of Black and the Elite again because that was fucking amazing the last time.
It was.
And
yeah, it was.
I'd like Buddy to commit knee crime to Nick Jackson some more because that was awesome.
We can still have that. It's fine.
We can still have that
anyway.
I might watch that match again after we've done this.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Tony Storm defeating Taya Valkyrie. I don't know what happened in this match because there was a storm at the venue and the signal cut out. So,
yeah,
it came back.
I'm going to assume that it was okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I was kind of gutted because I was looking forward to this match because I think these two will have really good chemistry. And AEW haven't released any footage of it, even though they've obviously got it there, which is weird. Like you could just throw it on YouTube, lads. Come on. We then got Martha Hart and Tony Khan awarding Willow and
lovely.
So yeah, it was cool. As Tasty said, Martha Hart's aggressively Canadian.
She is.
She's very Canadian.
She looks so much more comfortable now than she did last year, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just happy to be there celebrating her husband's life.
Yeah. Again, the internet were absolutely normal about this. It's mad that she doesn't
throw hands with everyone on the internet that disagrees that this was lovely.
I was about to say it's mad that she won't want the company that she blames for Owen's death to honor him and make money off his fucking name. more than they already have. But there we go. And yeah, then we got the main event, which was Luchasaurus defeating Chair. Sean Spears came out to his old fucking chairman music, which made me...
It was so good. I loved it.
It made me so happy. He had his cat eyes in. He looked all spooky. And then he got murdered by Luchasaurus. And Scorpio Sky...
It was a victory for Christian Cage. That's the thing.
Well, that's true. Scorpio Sky was watching backstage, which makes me think he's probably going to be the next challenger. I mean, hopefully...
What I want to see, right, is Christian Cage, Luchasaurus doing an open challenge, and Christian Cage challenging him, and like low blowing him, like straight away.
Just do the finger poke of doom. I'm sure the internet will treat that absolutely fucking fine. But yeah, Scorpio looks like he's going to be Christian Cage's next challenger for the TNT Championship. Yeah, that was all the AEW stuff. It was a lot. Go watch Collision because that was really good.
But you have to watch it all one after another so you can experience the no sleep as well. You don't appreciate it as much.
Yeah.
Without the lack of sleep. I
watched all of this in real time with the exception of Rampage because I was watching GCW. And I hated it.
Well, Collision was on so early. It proper threw me off.
Because it was on at 1.
Yeah.
It's always on at 1.
I know, but like, I just...
Because you get the curveball at Rampage at 3.
Yeah. There's just too much.
Yeah.
I have one woman with a child. It doesn't help.
I don't have a child, but I was looking after a poorly dog that weekend.
That's a child.
Basically a child.
Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get into news because we've done a lot of talking here about AEW. Let's talk some more about AEW.
I was about to say, can I start off with a small AEW segment then? Diamante's signed a full-time contract.
She has.
AEW. I love Diamante. I want to see
So's Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah, he has.
Who, again, shout out to Ian Riccaboni on Collision last week. He was tremendous.
He was fantastic.
In his pink suit.
Oh, he looked fantastic, didn't he? And Nigel McGuinness looked like every lad in Britain.
Nigel McGuinness looked fucking jacked.
Yeah, he did.
Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Nigel McGuinness looked like he's getting into fucking ring shape.
And Ian Riccaboni mentioned it as well, on commentary.
It was literally 10 seconds until Nigel started bringing up Danielson.
And so good.
Soon. Unfortunately, we do have some news about Bryan Danielson. Apparently, there has been complications with his injury, and there's an undetermined time frame of when he will be back. So it looks like he might not be wrestling at all in, which makes me sad. But then Daniel Garcia has been teasing that he's going to wrestle Nigel McGuinness, which, I mean, if Nigel lariats the soul out of Daniel Garcia, that will make me so happy.
That makes him his young boy.
Yeah. And then has him going after Bryan Danielson. Get Garcia to grow his hair out and spike it up like Nigel's used to be.
Frosted tips.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah. I've told you what I want. I've told you the tag team match that I want between those four. That's what I want.
Danielson and...
Danielson McGuinness versus... McGuinness and Garcia versus Danielson and Utah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That'd be nice. I'd enjoy that. While we're still on the subject of injuries, few injuries happened in WWE. Elton Prince separated his shoulder, which makes me really sad.
No boy.
He took a pounce off Ridge Holland, and the way, he basically over-rotated in the air. Again, internet's been dead cool to Ridge Holland. Wasn't Ridge's fault.
He's got the worst luck.
He has. And the thing is, 3 things happened. One of them was catastrophically bad. One was lucky, and one was just unfortunate. Either way, Ridge seems like a really nice fella. Be nice to Ridge.
He's gonna be feeling that anyway. Like he's obviously
he was getting
like
death threats over the Big E thing, and it's like, come on.
And his wife was and stuff as well. But you know, like when you think about it, like he's gonna be already having this in his mind, like every match now. Anyway, it's gonna be a big insecurity for him.
Yeah,
people just need to be nice. Like, fuck you if you're not bad.
Okay? Yeah. He responded. Someone said he couldn't do there was a move that he shouldn't do any again. And he responded by posting a gif from the same match of him doing the move safe as fucking houses on on Kit Wilson. But yeah, unfortunately Elton Prince is injured. Pretty deadly. I feel like we're just about to explode.
Really, they will still. It's fine.
So much so that Tanahashi started dressing like them.
Trying to be the third member.
Yes, boy. Next up, Seth Rollins has been putting off back surgery since 2019. He said he's had multiple fractures in his back and that he reckons he's got 5 or 6 months till he's going to have to get it seen to, essentially.
Seth, go now, please. Like,
he's holding on till after Mania, isn't he? But yeah, also big old Union Buster Seth Rollins, following in the Hulkster's footsteps, saying he's glad wrestlers don't have unions so they can't strike. Piece of shit. That fucking Stooge Hogan did it. Ventura was right. Yeah. And last little bit of sort of WWE adjacent news. Eric Young signed with WWE in January 2023 and then quit as soon as Vince came back.
It's completely unrelated. What are you on about?
He actually said it was because Vince was back. That's
a bold statement to like loudly say out loud, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's true, but like, you know what I mean?
He
like,
never said the specifics of it.
It.
Never said the specifics of it, but he did say it was for creative and moral reasons, which is a fucking moral bold play. Yeah, I mean, he ain't lying. His 90 days expired just in time for Slammiversary. Second time Eric Young has debuted at Slammiversary in 3 years. In 3 years. But yeah, he looked great. He had a match against Bully Ray and Pearson. I don't remember who the fuck it was. Teaming with Scott D'Amore after replacing PCO. Yeah, good for Eric Young. Also, Nick Aldis finished up with, and Zicky Dice both finished up with Impact Wrestling this week. Nick Aldis had a short. I don't know. When we interviewed Nick, he was very much of the mindset that he wants something bigger and better. At the time it was NWA, and obviously Impact is bigger than NWA. I think it should be a no-brainer that he goes to WWE. He's a perfect fit for them.
He is good as well, isn't he?
He's very good. Yeah. Run back his feud with Cody. You'd be a great foil for Cody. For like a 3-month feud. Once Cody's done twatting around with Brock Lesnar, and crying. Speaking of Cody, he has a WWE documentary that's 2 hours long. That there was a premiere and everything for it. It's got footage from BTE.
Does it have make him say
I don't know what it was because it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, there was footage from BTE. Apparently, the Young Bucks gave their permission for their footage to be used, which is a fair sign. The Young Bucks are going to be WWE bound and going to miss TV soon. Heard it here first. And Faye has given me the thumbs up there about that. This is just audio, so you can't see the thumbs up the Faye just gave me there. Next up, we've got 2 cool like indie adjacent things. GCW announced today that on the 12th of October they are running Korakuen Hall in Japan. I'm sure
the balcony will be fine.
They will not be doing anything on the balcony. But yeah, this is huge. If you don't know what Korakuen Hall is, it's one of like the most notable venues in Japan. It's awesome. Shows there are always great. just because the way the crowd
That's where
are.
the Independence Day was.
It is where Independence Day was. It's also where the opening round of Best of the Super Juniors was. New Year's Dash is always there the day after Wrestle Kingdom. Tokyo Joshi Pro, Freedoms, All Japan, Noah. Many.
I'm not saying Noah do a lot in there, don't they?
Yeah, many wrestling companies in Japan.
But not Kota Ibushi.
I'd compare it to like Japan's sort of like Madison Square Garden. Yeah. It's like, obviously there's the Tokyo Dome, which is the big one, but the Korakuen Hall's kind of like the one which they do more frequently. It's a lot more historic.
It's like Reseda for it's like for PW that type thing.
PWG don't run Reseda anymore. In fact, that's a lovely segue, Faye.
It's like that.
Because PWG announced from the Globe Theatre in California, they are doing PWG 20 Mystery Vortex on August the 13th. We are 2 weeks before All In. We're getting another Mystery Vortex. Who's going to crime Daniel Garcia? I don't know, because they don't announce any matches for Mystery Vortex. It's all a big surprise. I'm excited. I hope this means that they're going to fucking pull the finger out their arse and like get Bowler out, because they haven't released any of the last shows for fucking ages. It's meant to be 6 month delay, and it's been longer than 6 months.
To be fair, it was longer than like regular shipping for your bloody t-shirt as well, so it's fine.
It's just PWG, the carnies as fuck, mate. So that'll be fun. I can't wait for that. I'm intrigued to see what those matches are. Just for kind of like context, the last PWG show was the finals of Bowler.
It was. We got the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I was about to say we got Surprise Jericho Appreciation Society. If you haven't heard the podcast Chris Jericho did with Michael Oku at Bowler, it's great. Where they're talking about like how they basically got the surprise and all that.
So
very
good. And it was very much like for that, it made you start thinking, are we gonna get like more AEW? You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna get more working together?
You know what would be fucking better? If Tony Khan just bought them and then put PWG on Honor Club.
So good.
Just fucking stream the cunts live on Honor Club. Do it, Tony. That's another nice little segue, isn't it, Faye? Because we are going to talk about Death Before Dishonor, because that's Friday, and this is snuck up on us. They haven't announced an entire card, but we're going to just run through what has been announced so far, because it's a doozy. So the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships are on the line. Lucha Bros versus the Kingdom versus Best Friends versus Aussie Open. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
Aussie Open.
I think Aussie Open too. Maybe like 2% botch the Kingdom winner. But
I wouldn't be against that though. I like the Kingdom.
I like Mike Bennett at Matt Taven.
I think that's it. I think I just really like Mike Bennett.
Matt Taven's got real creepy pervert energy. He looks like a magician who roofies people. He's a fine wrestler. I don't mind. He's just off-putting. But that being said, I think Aussie Open should win this because Aussie Open are fucking awesome.
And it's their first match back.
And Mark Davis is back. Yay! Hooray, Mark Davis!
Huzzah.
I hope you crime Penta. Actually, Aussie Open versus Lucha Bros. Yes, please. Next up, we spoke about it earlier. Athena versus Willow Nightingale. Obviously, it's because Willow pinned Athena in the Owen. And I think Willow might dethrone Athena.
Yeah, same. I want her to, but they, like you said earlier, it could go either way.
I think Athena's got bigger fish to fry. I've been saying this for a little while now. Like Stat. Or Jamie Hayter when Jamie comes back and murders Tony Storm. Either way, I think Athena has done a tremendous job as women's champion of Ring of Honor. If she retains, I won't be upset because I think
she can carry on murdering people.
But I think Willow would make a fantastic women's champion as well. And I wouldn't be upset if Willow won.
Nope.
Next up, I know you're going to be super excited for this one. Katsuyori Shibata defending the Pure Championship against Daniel Garcia. I think Shibata retains here.
No, I'm going with the bad bitches.
I think the reason I think Shibata retains here is because I think that they're going to have either Lee Moriarty or Yuta take it off him.
Yuta?
Yeah. Yeah, because Yuta went in so unprepared and like Shibata just like squashed him. So have Yuta go back and then like crime him.
And then Daniel Garcia immediately take it off him again.
To be honest, I'm more inclined to want Lee Moriarty to.
I get it, but this is for me.
Lee Moriarty's been on a roll. That being said, Matt Taven's been teasing he's going to go after the Pure Championship. Stranger things have happened there.
I feel like there's I think there's about 4 or 5 people that want more than like Matt Taven doing it. Like give it.
How many people are on the Ring of Honor roster? Because I want that many people more. Next up, I have deliberately not looked at the spoilers for this, so this match has been announced who it is. I've deliberately chosen to ignore that, and thankfully it's not on my list here. Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor TV Championship against the winner of Dalton Castle versus Shane Taylor.
So I don't know who won that either.
Yeah, on Ring of Honor TV. I think the King of Television is going to retain regardless.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be Shane Taylor more than Dalton.
I don't want a Peacock murder, to be honest.
Well,
but I don't want. Shane Taylor is just very good.
Shane Taylor will do Peacock murder if he beats Dalton, I suppose. But yeah, just two mean old bastards hitting each other as hard as they can.
Yeah.
So it's what Tasty dreams of. Yeah, I think this would be really fun, and I would not be against it.
No.
Either way, Dalton Castle vs Joe would be awesome too, but I kind of want it to be Shane. And then the main event is Claudio Castagnoli versus TBD because Mark Briscoe got injured.
I thought they just weren't doing it.
No, basically they're not doing Mark and Claudio because Mark has.
I know they're not doing, but I just thought they weren't doing this.
No, Tony Khan said that he will be announcing Claudio's opponent after Blood and Guts.
What if it's Kota Ibushi?
It could be Kota Ibushi. It could be Pac.
Oh, that'd be good.
It could be. I'm trying to think who's not in the G1. That it could be
Punk.
Could be Punk. Punk would win it though, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
Could be Ricky. To be honest, there's a lot of people that it could be. Not been announced yet.
Stu Grayson. Which I'd be okay with, actually.
It's been quite closely guarded, this one. Not like leaked out on Twitter or anything.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just whoever doesn't win the TV championship #1 contenders. Do Dalton versus Claudio?
Oh no.
Peacock murder.
One Peacock murder.
I mean, the boys are facing the Righteous on Ring of Honor this week, so there's going to be some semblance of Peacock murder.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so not a trios championship match announced yet. And obviously there's other matches that could come into play. I'm quite surprised that the Workhorsemen aren't in the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match because they were teasing that.
And then they'll come out and challenge whoever wins it.
I mean, let's face it, it's a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. There's probably going to be like another 8 or 9 matches announced on top of what
And don't forget the 0 hour as well. Like,
well, that's what I mean. Like, literally, like Supercard.
We got shows on the J, didn't we?
Yeah, they announced.
What if it's Colt Cabana versus Claudio?
Could be. I'm trying to think who else it could be. They're not going to do Takeshita, are they? Because that would be silly.
They've already done it.
They could just do Yuta and Claudio as like a little exhibition.
My heart. Mox.
Oh, imagine if it's Mox and Claudio. The fucking crime we'd see there.
Imagine if he wins.
I think Claudio might drop the title at this show.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not really showing up on Ring of Honor TV, is he?
That much, yeah.
He's a bit too busy with the fucking BCC and the Elite storyline. Oh, what if it's Hangman?
I would love that.
They've been teasing Hangman and Claudio, haven't they?
I would love that. Also, give Hangman the ROH belt.
He never won it.
I think Hangman could exactly. I think Hangman could do with having a belt on him as well.
Yeah, turn him heel and have him win the international championship.
Just have him murder orange.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd like the Hung Bucks to win the ROH trios belts.
I mean, Hangman's already a heel because he turned on the. Yeah. I mean, Hangman's already a heel because he turned on the Dark Order, the piece of shit. So,
yeah.
There is that.
Just do those for Ibushi and Claudio.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
It would. It'd be very good.
That actually makes a lot of sense, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm just double checking. We've not missed any. There is a Fightful Select thing about a talent meeting led by No Chill Phil. Because,
Oh, really?
Yeah, on July the 8th, there was a talent meeting before AW Collision. CM Punk led the meeting. There were several topics brought up on how Collision could separate itself from what fans see on Dynamite. They went over what was and wasn't good for Collision, such as finishes, shenanigans, and the like. And there was also stuff covered, such as promoting AW-related projects, shows more, especially the Fight Forever video game, some of the safety guidelines with the banned list as well, which we haven't actually.
Did they just show a video of Pac? Did they just go, you can't do this?
Just showed a video of Pac going, don't do any of this. This man is a fucking menace, and he is not to be trusted.
Felt like they did that. I felt like every indie show over the weekend also demonstrated what AEW can't do.
Someone said something about that, like on GC. I think it was GCW saying, "Well, you can't do that on a certain channel. You can't do that on a TV or something."
Yeah.
Where is it? I'm just having a little look-see now for this little list of bands.
So I'm gonna talk about how
Here we go.
on the next Wrestle Island show, there's a spin the wheel, make a deal match.
Fuck off, is there?
Yeah.
They sure know how to appeal to specifically me. Bringing back spin the wheel, make the deal. What are they fucking playing at? So yeah, the AW released. I can't believe I forgot to put this on my notes. I feel like I've done myself dirty there. But also, we've got a little bit of time to talk about this still. So AW released a list of things that are outright banned and other things that need clearance. The protocols were developed by AW's medical teams, coaches, and referees to help protect talent, staff, crew, and fans, and basically minimize risk. So things that were outright. Also, Tony Khan said that a lot of this isn't going to really affect what you see on TV. It's just kind of safety. It's a safety thing, yeah. Specifically, the document sent out that outright banned were unprotected chair shots to the head, shots to the back of the head, Pac, Buckle bombs and blind moves backwards into the turnbuckle. Fencing responses, so unnatural position of arms following a concussion. There was a video going around of like utilizing that, like also demonstrating that, where a fighter got knocked out in the UFC and his arm was kind of like rigid and pointing off at like a weird angle. That's what they mean by that. Seizure cells, Danielson. Spitting, Mox. Bleeding in the crowd, Mox. Weapons or projectiles in the crowd, Mox. Taking drink or food from guests in the crowd, MJF. Or physical contact with the crowd,
MJF.
Yeah. They said there's nothing with blood on it should be thrown into the crowd either.
Does he watch New Japan and go, oh God, that's a bad thing?
Watching Kasai throwing the fucking straight razor into the crowd, a lunatic.
I remember once Mox signed a book at a New Japan show, his book, by just smearing his blood. Took his hand, rubbed it across his like cut, and then rubbed it on the front page of the book.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then this is all stuff now that this is verbatim from the document according to Fightful Select that will need to be approved by a coach when they're planning a match. So it's spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside. Table, ladder, chair spots in and out of the ring only allowed with padding. Any elevated spots outside of the barricades, i.e. like dives, ladder spots on the stage, around the arena and other places. Kota.
To be fair though, there's been
all this stuff's coming in before Kota Ibushi comes in.
Do you think this is why they've done it?
I think there might be a little bit of correlation between Kota Ibushi coming in and them going, you can't fucking jump off balconies.
Can't do any of that. No fireworks.
All pile driver tombstone variations, including sit-down pile drivers, inverted poison hurricane ranas, and vertebreakers. High-risk dives or top rope moves, so 450s, 630s, double moonsaults, shooting star, shooting star, presses, etc. Intentional bleeding of any sort, not just blading.
So it's like when Mox will reopen his wounds.
Yeah, but again, it's still allowed in it. It's just you've got to get the clearance.
It's the thing; they're not going to stop the blood.
No one's going to tell John Moxley he can't fucking gig in blood and guts because he'll find a fucking way.
Like, oh no.
Oh no, I banged my head on this cage.
Repeatedly. Why do I keep doing this?
Throwing people through, over ring steps, commentary table, bell table, or guardrails, barricades, and weapon usage. Weapon usage, it says here as well, is chairs, pipes, kendo sticks, hammers, ring bells, bats, chains, etc., title belts, thumbtacks, skewers, barbed wire, other sharp puncturing objects, powders, aerosol sprays, or liquids.
Interesting that they've left cables on there.
Yeah, Roosh is fine. Don't worry about it. Throwing any weapons or objects, i.e. chairs. Choking and strangling with hands or a weapon or hanging spots. Injury spots or angles where whether or not medical is involved cause the ring. Excuse me. Any physicality in the crowd or crowd brawling. Any physicality involving referees, managers, extras, celebrities, or special guests. So that's all stuff that is allowed but needs approval.
That doesn't worry me though. That makes me feel okay because it minimizes the potential for injury, which I like.
It does. It also means that we're not getting, because this is something I have been critical of AEW doing in the past, having similar or the same spots and finishes in matches back to back. Whereas if they've got a match on the card and it's like, oh yeah, we've already done that.
You have to think outside the box a bit more.
Yeah. Basically breeds a bit more creativity, doesn't it?
But like, so, if I know like all those, like, because obviously there's been some horrific injuries in AEW with like especially like ladder spots like Dante Martin, Phoenix, all that sort of thing. If they're planned out just a little bit more, that might prevent that from happening again, which I like a lot because those things really upset me when I watch them, to be honest.
What, like when Dante's leg exploded?
Yeah, and when Ray Phoenix's arm like turned to goop.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's as you say, if it's gonna get everyone safer, then that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not like they can't bleed. Come on, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, that just about does it.
Who's your win for blood and guts? Who's your win for blood and guts?
BCC.
Same.
I think the Elite are going to win it. Yourself.
No, I would like for BCC to win it.
They're not bringing Coated in for to do a JOB.
What if they do? What if he jobs out to Pac?
Oh, that'd be great. Pac just brutalizes him.
No, I know. I know that the Elite are going to win it, and I think that's why I want BCC to win, because I like the unexpectedness of it all.
Yeah, that's true. And one little final tidbit, because Tasty always likes to end it on a bit of good news, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Alexa Bliss and Ryan Cabrera are having a little girl. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
So much pink in that house. They revealed it on Entertainment Tonight by Ryan Cabrera smashing a guitar which had pink powder in his head.
Wow.
Sadly not a la Jeff Jarrett over a midget's head.
I was about to say, like,
we can't have everything.
Should have happened.
But yeah, thank you for listening. I have been Jay, as always, joined by Faye. Get well soon, Tasty. You fucking slacker. You can find us over on YouTube. I've done this the wrong way around. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Twitch, Twitter, and Discord, Untitled Rest Pod. First time.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. Also, go check out my new podcast, Two Nations Under Ted.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, yes, Danhausen here. Danhausen has been summoned. You must love this podcast housing, the Untitled Wrestling Podcast housing.